You're good?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
Oh. I'll wait. You good now?
Definitely not. Yeah.
Okay, I've been live for a while now, so I hope you're
See
good.
that?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Animation Revaluation podcast. I am Lizer, and with me, as always, is Jay. What's up, Jay?
Hello.
And special guest this week and special presenter, we have a secondary songbird. Hey, Song.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
It's going. It's Friday, and yeah, that's all I got.
Nice. It's Friday. Yeah, it sure is Friday. TGIF. Song, I think you're actually going to, maybe I shouldn't say this because I feel like that'll add pressure. Fuck it.
What?
You're going to be, like, the first guest that's actually, like, presenting.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah, because usually a guest comes and I'm like, hey, you just sit there and be pretty. Like, just sit there, say things after I say things. And we'll be golden. But you're the first one that's like, hey, this is my thing. I'm taking charge. And I appreciate that, because that means I don't have to do anything.
You have to keep me on track so I don't rant.
God damn it. I thought I had it easy. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Alright, so before we get into anything, you know, involving the actual show we watched, I just want to ask everyone, like, how they've been this week, or week plus, since we did the last podcast. So, you're the newest Song, so how have you been recently? I know you're doing, like, your week of collabs.
Yeah, I got 5 days of collabs in a row. I was tired on day 1. And I'm still tired. That's about
it. Nothing's changed.
Nope.
Are you at least having fun, though?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. I know we had our
That's always
collab.
nice.
This is our second collab this week.
Indeed.
That's fun. You've actually helped me keep on track with the streaming stuff by collabing with me.
Glad I could be of assistance.
Yeah, nice. What a good friend. Jay, what have you been up
Yes,
to, my
sir.
man?
Pondering my existence and celebrating a birthday.
I thought you were gonna say pondering the orb, and I was gonna be like, fuck yeah. Yeah, pondering your existence and what else?
And celebrating a birthday.
Oh yeah. Wow, how did I forget that? That was a busy day for me.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I heard you won like $7,000 or something like that.
Please stop with that.
I heard your address was
That's spooky, brother. Don't do that.
I was gonna say Jock's Day. It's Doc's J Day. Let's go.
I appreciate that. And can that not happen?
Please.
Appreciate it. Please.
For me, I man, I didn't do shit. I planned to do shit, and I didn't. That's
Big
how it
mood.
usually goes. Yeah, that's how it usually goes for me. It's like every time I plan something, my boss is like, ring, ring, hey. Hey, girl. I'm like, please, no. Let me rest. Do not do this to me.
I like this.
But what I did do this week was I watched some anime. And the specific anime I watched was a volleyball one named Haikyuu.
Yes.
I really want to know how much you want.
I'll tell you after you present.
God damn it.
You have to wait.
Fine.
when I do my review, I'll say like, hey, I watched up to this episode. I watched all the way up to episode 2.
Fight you.
Gotta find me first. So,
You ready?
yeah, go ahead, take the lead. It's all on you now.
Jesus. Hold on. Okay. So, Haikyuu opens with this baby.
This baby.
What a cutie. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay. Opens with Hinata. He's going to the soccer field with his friends. He sees the volleyball game on the TV. It is Karasuno High School, and they talk about the tiny giant. Just some short kid that can jump really high. And then we get a fast forward to 3 years later, and he's going to his first volleyball tournament. Basically, it's him and his ragtag team of friends. And then they're like, oh wow, that team's really tall and really scary looking. That's Kitagawa first. And spoiler alert, that's who they have to play against. They see this really like scary looking dude. They call him the king of the court. Is this guy. Tobio Kageyama. So they're both kind of like interested in each other's skills after the game. They lose horribly. They have this really cool like scene where Hinata finally gets the ball, and they do this crazy animation, and he's like jumping through the air, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, he can jump!" And then it misses, and that was the match point. So they lose the game. But as they're leaving the stadium, Hinata sees Kitagawa leaving, and he runs up to Kageyama, and he's like, I'm gonna beat you, like I'm gonna take revenge, and I'm gonna beat you on whatever court we're on. And he's like, do it. There's the montage of him training wherever he can, and then he runs into his new high school, which is Karasuno. He's running to the gym, and then lo and behold, who does he see in the gym? It's Kageyama, and they're both like, aw heck, we're at the same school.
Can't believe you've done this.
So that's episode 1.
Dang, that was a pretty good review of like, well, not review, summary. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Good, because I cut it down a ton.
Yeah, but that's still like
Yeah,
that first
pretty
episode.
solid.
That's pretty solid actually.
Oh yeah, and at the end of it, you see like 3 faceless Karasuno volleyball players, and they're like, wow, these kids are something to look out for. But you don't see their faces. And I love them to death.
I do want to say though, like they were saying in that first episode, like how high Hinata can jump. He's what, like 5'5" or something like that, right?
Yeah.
He like goes above the net. This motherfucker got hops.
Yes.
I need everyone to know that. Like they're not like, oh, he can jump. No, he can jump.
Yeah, it's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
He really gets up.
Yeah. Air Jordan
Yeah.
over here. Okay, continue.
Okay. Yeah, that was what stopped him is he can jump really high, but the tall kids on the other team can just jump higher since they're naturally taller, and he still got blocked.
That's why tall people suck.
Sad day. In episode 2, they're like, whoa, you're here. No, you're here. They're both at the same high school. And then you see the people who were faceless in episode 1. They walk in. You got Mommy and Daddy Karasuno.
Excuse me?
You got Daichi and Sugawara. They're the mother and father of the team.
What do you mean by that?
They're just colloquially known as the mom and dad of the team. They keep everyone in check.
Okay, I don't like the implications.
That's the implication. And then you got Tanaka Ryunosuke,
Yes, my boy.
the resident bad boy. So they come in and they're all fawning over Kageyama. Hinata's, running around like, look at me, I'm here. They just kind of ignore him. Hinata kind of loses it and challenges Kageyama to a fight of one-on-one volleyball. As they're doing this, the vice principal comes in. Daichi's trying to get them to stop. They're not listening. Kageyama spikes a ball, which knocks off the toupee of the vice president, and it lands on Daichi's head. Fun times all around. So Daichi ends up throwing them out and says, you're not allowed on the team until you can work together. Kageyama's like, I'll do everything myself. I'll set, I'll spike it, I'll do everything myself. And then, so they keep arguing and want to go back on the team. Instead of agreeing to work as a team, they challenge the third years to a volleyball match. If they win, then they're allowed back on the team. If they lose, Kageyama is not allowed to set whatsoever. There's no repercussions for Hinata, which annoys him. But Kageyama flips out because that's his thing. So that's kind of how that episode ends.
He's very hot-headed and cocky.
Yes, very much so. You kind of learn about why he's called the King of the Court later, but I'll get there. Actually, in episode 3.
Ooh. Lore.
Do I have all the characters so far? Yeah, I do. Okay. Episode 3, you meet the other 2 first years. You got Kei Tsukishima.
Worst character.
He has his own arc. He gets better.
Doesn't matter. Worst character.
I know I had a picture of Yamagoops. There he is. And you got Yamagoops. Yamaguchi.
Not even a real character, just a yes man.
Basically, he's just there to kiss ass. So basically, they pair up the teams. You got Tanaka is with Kageyama and Hinata, and Daichi is with Suki and Yami. They start practicing secretly with Tanaka in the mornings. Where am I? Sugawara starts helping them as well. Kageyama's like, I'm not setting to Hinata. He sucks. I'll only set to Tanaka. Hinata gets better, but his relationship with Kageyama isn't improving at all. And they start practicing outside of the court. That's where they run into Tsukishima and Yamagoops. The other first years, Tsukishima's insults about Hinata's height and Kageyama's past motivate them to win on Saturday. And this is where Tsukishima kind of explains why he's called the King of the Court. Hinata thought it was because, he's really good at what he does, but it's actually because he's like a really strict dictator and his spikes can ruin the other team and also his teammates. So basically what happened was the fight or the tournament where they fought Hinata, after that, he pushed his team so hard that they basically just left the court and left him by himself. So that's why he's kind of nervous about playing again. So that's episode 3. Any questions on up to then? We good?
I'm good. Jay?
Good. Okay, cool.
Good.
Cool. Okay. Episode 4 is the practice match. It starts out with some trash talk from Tsukishima. Gets Tanaka all riled up. Tanaka whips off his sweatshirt. But it also gets them in a playing mood. So Kageyama and Hinata can't really play together well to start off. Tsukishima and Yamagoops are winning. And then they kind of get into the swing of things. And Kageyama's old-setting habits and constant harassment from Tsukishima don't really work well, but encouragement from Suga, they figure out a way to utilize their skills to create the perfect attack. They do this quick attack, special quick attack. It's with his eyes closed. And everyone's like, holy shit, he just did that with his eyes closed. And it was like a crazy play, and they end up winning. So they're allowed back on the team.
Dude, the fact that they were all, like, surprised by it, and they're, like, you know, in universe and in this anime, like, professionals in volleyball, like, they know about stuff, and they were, like, pogging. Imagine how I was, and I know nothing about volleyball. And I was like, oh, shit, that was awesome. So he had his eyes closed.
Right. And you also get to see kind of the playstyles of the other teammates. So, like, Daichi is really good at defense. You didn't think he would be really into it, but they kind of aim at Daichi, and he's like, haha, not today, bitch. But, yeah. Is this where... No, okay, never mind. Okay, episode 5. We're doing 11, right? Is that where we're going to?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just making sure. Episode 5, so they start working together on these special quick attacks. They decide to use Hinata as a decoy, so they get the other team to focus on Hinata, while the other wing spikers, like Tanaka, can come in and also make some kills. They win a 3-on-3 match. They're accepted as official team members. They do this cute little thing where they're given their jackets and they all like say, welcome to the team, and it's adorable. And then they have their academic advisor, Takada, comes in, which he's precious as well. Yep.
Glasses.
He announces that they have a practice match with Alba Josai, also called Seijo. There is one condition. Kageyama has to be the setter for the entire match, which causes a little bit of friction with him and Sugawara, because Suga is the official setter for the team, so it means Suga would have to sit out. Yeah, that's basically all of episode 5. Episode 6 is where they get to Alba Josai. Hinata is losing his mind. He has a really upset stomach, and everyone's like, he's losing his shit. Kageyama runs into his old teammates from Kitagawa, and they're like, wow, he hasn't changed. They do this really cool scene where they're talking shit about Karasuno, and then the whole team is behind them, looking super sinister. I love that part. When they start playing, Karasuno is kind of really bad at first. Hinata keeps making mistakes, not being able to receive the ball, but they use their quick attack, and of course everyone's like, holy shit, he can jump. He did it with his eyes closed. Wow.
Whoa.
So that proves to be an effective weapon. Karasuno, yeah, look at that shit. It's amazing. He goes pew. As Karasuno appears. So they're like, wow, they're pretty good, but we're winning. And then Kageyama's like, their actual setter isn't here. That's why we're winning. And that's where episode 6 ends. And then you get episode 7, where the Great King shows up.
Is that really what they end up calling him?
The Great King, that's what Hinata calls him, because they said Kageyama is the king. So since Oikawa trained Kageyama, Oikawa has to be the Great King.
But, like, Hinata's the only one who calls him that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
That's
this dumb name.
This smug bitch.
Yeah. Smarmy little shit.
I love him to death. I'm looking at the pin that I got of him. What episode is that? Oh, heck. Episode 7. Yeah, Oikawa's like, I'm ready. Let's go. He just came back from an injury. He is their captain and official setter. He is also Kageyama's, like, teacher from middle school. They went to Kitagawa together. He enters the game, and Oikawa, like, fucks shit up. He goes ham right from the get-go, doing these crazy targeted serves at Tsukishima. He realizes that Suki isn't the best receiver, so he targets him. Alba Josai catches up to Karasuno. It's kind of neck and neck. Daichi realizes that they can't really handle Oikawa, so he changes up their formation. And Karasuno wins the match against Alba Josai. Oikawa kind of catches them outside. And I love this part. Hinata's like, you want to fight? You want to fight? Let's go.
While hiding behind someone else.
It's great. He wants to fight everyone. But Oikawa vows that the next time they meet, they'll use their full force, and Alba Josai will win. As they leave, Daichi reveals the cross note also has a few other surprises up their sleeves. Their libero is about to return and completely change how the team runs.
I remember they said that. I was like, what the fuck is a libero?
If I'm not mistaken, like the very last scene is where Kageyama and Hinata are kind of setting balls back and forth to each other, and this crazy person just jumps in front of Hinata and, you know, takes the ball. And then they look at each other, and Hinata's like, "Oh, I'm taller than you."
It's never happened before.
And that's where it ends. Yeah, this has never happened before. So that's where that ends. Yeah, he receives the perfect serve. So that pushes us into episode 8. The person that comes in is this cutie. You might recognize his voice actor from Oran Host Club. He was one of the twins.
Yeah.
Also, Oikawa's voice actor was in that really great Ghost. What's it called? The Ghost one. The dubbed.
Ghost Stories.
Yeah. He's in that. I'm pretty sure Nishi's voice actor is in there too.
He was in Beck 2 as the main character, says Cillian.
Beck. Oh yeah. Right. What episode this is? Episode 8. So what happened was Nishi was on suspension and he was just allowed to come back to club activities after a month. He serves as a libero. He's asked if their ace Asahi has come back yet. The Hinata and Kageyama don't really know who that is, but Suga and Daichi kind of like look a little guilty. So Nishi's like, no, I'm done, I'm leaving. He said he won't come back unless Asahi comes back.
Do you want to explain what a libero is, or? Yeah,
so libero is special. They specialize in defense. They cannot spike at all. It's not really allowed for them to set either. But basically, they just try to keep the ball in the air for the other players. They wear inverse colors of the other teammates because they enter and exit the court more frequently. So yeah, that's the libero. They are just defense. So So Hinata and Kageyama kind of find out who Asahi is, and they go to try to get him back on the team, and it's Jesus.
All right, I wasn't expecting that.
So it's canon in the manga that every year for Christmas they tie him up to the volleyball net to make it look like a cross, and it's Jesus.
All right, so first off, I thought you were gonna say it's canon in the manga that he's Jesus.
Yeah, that was just a lot to digest in just that short amount of time.
You cut out. Repeat that. You thought I was gonna say what?
I thought you were gonna say that it's canon in the manga that he's just straight up Jesus, like from the Bible. Like he's just Jesus. I was like,
he's just Jesus.
Wait a second. But second, you can't just tell me that. They playfully crucify my guy?
Yeah.
Whoa.
They just tie him up to the volleyball netting.
Oh no. How long do they leave him there for?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't finished the manga, but that's what I've
he's
seen.
so why would you do that to him?
He is such a freaking sweetheart.
It's so sad.
I'll delve more into Asahi's personality in the later episodes. I think we do. Do we? Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone looks at Asahi and they see this like freaking gangster guy because he has like the facial hair and the long hair and he's really tall and buff. So everyone's like
Daddy.
scared of him. But he's actually the biggest sweetheart. Where were we? Episode 8. Yeah, episode 8. Yeah, so they try to get him to come back, and he's like, nah, I can't do it after what happened last time. I'm gonna let the team down again. I can't do it. I'm just not gonna play volleyball anymore. Meanwhile, what? Yep.
I just wanted to say, because when Hinata first runs into him, he doesn't mention that he's not coming back because of something that happened last time. But you do see like a teacher call him out and say something about like
so
work
he gets called
interviews or
out.
something.
Yeah, they have after college.
Yeah, I totally thought it was gonna be like he's giving up on volleyball because he feels like he needs to get a real job, like I thought it was gonna be one of those things, and I thought it was gonna make me really sad. He's giving up his dreams.
I think when he talks to Suga, like before Hinata and Kageyama meet him, he's like, no, I can't do that again, I'll let you down.
I don't remember.
But that might be later.
I think that's later.
Anyway. So their academic advisor Takada, you see him trying to get someone to be their coach, and this guy says, no, I'm not doing it, over and over and over. He is Keishin Yukai, also my favorite freaking daddy of the show. I love him to death. He says, no, I'm not doing it. But then Takada comes up with a plan that he believes will pull Yukai in to coach. And that's kind of where it ends. But it's also shown that Yukai is the manager of the little convenience store that the team always goes to. He yells at them to be quiet, and so they're familiar with him.
He's so mean to them. I love it.
Yeah, he's like, keep it down out there. Freaking volleyball kids.
No more meat buns. The soccer kids ate them. Go eat a real meal for once.
Yeah. I think he like throws energy bars at a few of them. Like Tanaka catches it in his mouth. So that was episode 8. So episode 9, Yukai agrees to be the coach only because Tanaka says, hey, we got a practice match with Nekoma. And that was who... It comes out that Yukai was actually on the Karasuno volleyball team, and back in the day, Nekoma and Karasuno had this like rivalry. So he's like, hell nah, I'm not letting these boys lose to Nekoma. So he's like, I'll do it. And it's really funny because like he's like, I don't want to join your freaking team. I'm not doing it. Stop showing up here. Also, what time is practice?
Yeah. You just want me for the name.
Yeah, you just want me for the name because it turns out that his grandfather was the old coach Yukai of Karasuno, and that's who had the rivalry with Nekoma. And he's like, you just want me because my grandfather. Also, what time is practice? I'll freaking be there. So that's the end of episode, or the beginning of 9, or the end of 8. One of them. So he agrees to be coach. He's like, I'm only going to be coach until the Nekoma match. After that, y'all are on your own. So he arranges a practice match with the Friendly Neighborhood Volleyball Association just to kind of check out everyone's abilities, see where they need work. Nishinoya and Suga are placed on the association team. I'm pretty sure, like at this point, Asahi's kind of had like a battle. He's like, I'm not going to do it, but I want to support my friends. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm going to do it. And he kind of peeks in, and Yukai sees him, and he's like, hey, man bun, why are you late? Get in here. And he's like, oh, heck, I guess I'm here now. And also he is put on the association side as well. Also, he is going to try to prove that he deserves the title of ace of the team. He has to get past the triple block of Kageyama, Tanaka, and Tsukishima to regain his confidence. So that's kind of where episode 9 leads off. Yeah. Okay.
It's very like heavy episode. Like dealing with like different character emotions.
Like Asahi's like the reason why he's in there. So in a earlier episode it shows, I think it's Yamaguchi who's cleaning up, and he sees this broken broom in their supply room, and he asks Suga if he can throw it away, and Suga gets this look on his face. He looks really sad, and he's like, no, there's some way we can fix it. And then later you see that they were going against a team. I think they do say it was Date Tech. You're going against this team. Asaki keeps getting blocked left and right. He kind of loses confidence. They lose the game. He gets into this big fight with Nishinoya. They fight about it in the supply room. Nishi breaks the broom in anger and leaves. And then the next day they see each other in the hallway, and Nishi kind of picks it back up, and he's like, are you really not going to play volleyball anymore? They start yelling at each other in the hallway. Asahi's like, why am I saying these things? That's not what I mean. But he keeps saying that y'all will be better off without him. And then they knock over the vice principal's like pot he has next to his door, and the vice principal like freaks out and suspends Nishi. So that's why he was on suspension.
Doesn't the vice principal like go to grab him? He's like, don't touch me, and like slaps his hand away.
Yeah. I think that's what knocks over the thing. He like pushes the vice principal back.
The face when they ask like, hey, can I throw this broom away? He's like hugging it, like all sad. In my head I was just like, Ohana means family.
I forgot to introduce the other members of the team. You also got the side players. These three, I forget two of their names, but the one closest to the front is Inoshida. They're second years. You kind of learn more about them later. They become bigger characters.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say that you forgot their names when their names are in the corner?
Yeah, they don't talk to the other two. I just know Inoshida.
Enoshida, Kinoshida, and Naritaka. The names are literally in the picture.
You right.
Yikes.
Oh, you also have the best girl.
Yes.
The best girl. Kyoko. Or Kyoka?
No, it's my fucking wife.
That is basically how Tanaka and Nishi feel towards her.
That's why I love them. They're the best characters.
Yeah. I think it's in episode 2 when Hinata's running through, and you don't see them from waist up, but you see Kyoka saying, hey, here's the applications to the club. Tanaka says, you look really great today, Kyoko, and she just ignores him. I love his responses. He's always like, oh, I love it when she ignores me.
Yeah, it should be me.
It's great.
It should have been me, not him.
It should have been me, not him.
And then when Nishi sees her for the first time, he leaps at her.
Yeah.
And she freaks out and slaps him. And they hold that as a badge of honor.
Same.
That he is one of the only times she's actually slapped someone.
Bro, she actually touched me. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was episode 9. Episode 10, Asahi kind of gets into his role. Hinata and Kageyama use their quick attack. Of course, again, all the other association players and Yukai were like, holy shit, this kid can jump, and he did it with his eyes closed. Holy shit. So Yukai shocked at the two's coordination and Kageyama's skills. He compares that with Sugawara's dependability and experience. This gives him a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he's having a hard time deciding who should be the like opening setter for the team. Whether it should be Kageyama, who has raw skill, or Sugawara, who is a third year. He's a third year, he's dependable, has experience. So he's kind of saying, oh, I don't know who would be the official setter. So Hinata gets distracted. He compares himself with Asahi. He's like, I'll never be able to get that level of strength. That's the ace. After a mishap and encouragement from Kageyama, Hinata finally understands his importance as the team decoy. So if I remember correctly, they kind of do the quick attack, but they fake the other team out, and Tanaka's actually the one who gets set to and spikes the ball. So that's why he's a good decoy. And if I'm not mistaken, in is it 9 or 10 where they go on their run, and Hinata and Kageyama are racing each other, and they end up kind of leaving the set course. Or at least Hinata does. He leaves the course and he just runs, and he's like, oh, where's everyone else? Don't really know, where everyone else is going, but he sees this boy sitting on the curb, and he's like, hey, what's going on with you? And it is one of the top 3 best boys of the show. This cutie. So he's talking to him about what he does. He sees he has like the sports shoes, and they realize that he's also a volleyball player. He's a setter, 2nd year. Hinata's like, oh, I'm a wing spiker. I bet you think that's weird since I'm really short. And Kenma's like, nah, people think it's really weird that I'm a setter because I'm like really quiet and not really assertive or anything. And that's it. And then you see... Yeah, and then Sugamama comes and gets Hinata. They round back up. That's that. You kind of meet him. You don't really know who he is or anything like that.
What makes him so good, though? Why is he one of the top 3 for you?
Because it's Kenma. Like, he's the whole reason I dyed my hair blonde. Like,
dude, what the?
It's just Kenma. He gets a lot of backstory also later in the show. I don't think the first. Yeah, you don't really see their match until episode 12. Yeah. I'm looking. Okay. I love how they give him cat eyes, because Nekoma is known as like they're sly like cats, and Karasuno is known as the crows, so they call it the trash can showdown between cats and crows.
Just missing raccoons, that's it.
Yeah. You don't see them until like the end of the season, but you also have the owls, which is Fugorodani, and you get Bokudo, and they're great. Anyway, that was episode 10. So episode 11, they go to this training camp. The training camp officially begins, and the players ready themselves for the showdown against Nekoma. You also get a bunch of backstories for the upperclassmen. And one of my favorite scenes is where they basically go to this, is it like a cabin type thing? They stay overnight in Tokyo, or near Tokyo. They're going to take showers, and it's like a horror movie moment. And Hinata's like looking really scared. Tanaka's like, hey, what's up? And he's just like, there's someone else here. It's a child. Like, there's someone here. And Tanaka's kind of nervous, but he's like, nah, you're just seeing your own reflection. And then you see someone come up, and it's Nishinoya, but he has his hair down instead of spiked up. And they realize that he spikes his hair up, so he looks a couple inches taller.
Dude, I totally thought it was either going to be a fake out, or like there was actually just going to be someone out there, and it was like a filler episode type of thing.
They're all joking like, ha ha ha, it's just Nishinoya. And then you can see Asahi comes up after his shower, and he looks really scary, and they all get scared and scream, and Daichi yells at them to shut up.
So they're all scared of him.
Yeah, because he looks super scary and oppressive, and yeah. Yukai struggles with his decisions on who the setter would be. While they're at this camp, Suga comes to Yukai and is like, hey, I know I'm a third year, but I think you should put whoever you think is best. Don't think about it in terms of whether or not I'm a third year or not, just whoever you think is best. He said he just wants to make sure that they're on the court the longest, even if it's not him being the setter. So this leads Yukai to decide on Kageyama to be the official setter. So Nekoma... Okay, so it's Nekoma who comes to Miyagi rather than the other way around. They're in Miyagi Prefecture. Hinata's like, oh, hey, I know you. He sees Kenma. And they're like, how do you freaking know this guy? And he's like, oh, well, I met him on the street. And then they start their match. And I think it's episode 11 where you get that really freaking weird speech from Kenma's best friend, Kuru. And he's like, we are plasma. We gotta do our job so the brain can do his job. And it's so goofy, and I love it to death, and Kuru is my favorite character. Yeah, so that's episode 11, and that's where we stopped off. So the next one would be the match against Nekoma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, you did pretty good on those summaries.
Take a breath.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Yeah.
Clap. Good job.
Good job, well done.
I was like, this is gonna be like a 2-hour podcast.
No, I was literally writing out full pages for each episode, and then I was like, I can't freaking do this. Like, I had a lot. Like, every single scene I wrote down about it, but yeah.
Oh, that was actually like a great,
shorter.
Yeah, that was a great amount of detail. Actually, it's like not giving away too much. Like, you perfectly, talked about what the episode is about. But if I still went in blind, it would still be enjoyable for me to watch. Like, there's still things that I would find new in there. So, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, as the person who presented this and who wanted me to have this show on the podcast, would you like to just say like your general thoughts why you chose this?
Yeah, so honestly, I've watched Haikyuu, was it 2 years ago? To be fair, I wasn't in the best like position, like headspace.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched this and it was super pure. There's not a lot of like damage that's gonna be done. So I was I just loved how every character gets character development. There's not really like side characters, so that's why like I saved this. So you love everyone in Haikyuu, but there's like 50,000 characters.
Yeah. I came back to a volleyball addicted spouse. Yes, you did.
Yeah, he was in Antarctica at the time when I started watching it, so he came back to me being obsessed. But yeah, every character has their backstory. Every character has like growth. None of them are the same from beginning to end. It's really great, and I love it, and it's so pure. I just love it because it's so pure.
Okay, all right. It is very pure. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, do you wanna? I'm gonna make her wait for my review. Do you want to go
So
first?
mean.
Yeah, that's fine. So I didn't get to go past episode 7 because of a rough 2 weeks for me. But from everything that I saw, I absolutely enjoyed Haikyuu from start to finish. Originally, I heard about Haikyuu like fucking long time ago. Heard nothing but good things about it, and finally getting down to actually sit down and watch at least a little bit of it. Uh, I have nothing bad to say about this anime, to be honest. Given when it came out too, and it's had several seasons since then, if I'm not mistaken. Um, a solid 8 out of 10.
Ooh, high praise.
Yay!
There's genuine happiness in her voice. As for me, I knew of Haikyuu before. I want to say maybe like very late Tumblr days I saw it being posted. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I didn't really know too much about like in context. So I just saw like there was a million fucking like sports boy anime coming out around the same time, or what felt like the same time to me. And I was like, they're all gonna be the fucking same. It's a group of boys. They have friendship and sportsmanship, and they're patting each other's asses and blowing each other. And I'm like, I'm not down for that right now. So I just skipped out on it. But I heard nothing but good things. I just kind of felt like it's not gonna be my thing. I'm not super into sports like in general. So why would I watch an anime that's gonna be like, hey, this is sports, but we paid someone below minimum wage to animate it. You know? So you had mentioned that you liked it and you wanted me to do it for the podcast. I invited you on and everything, you know. And you challenged me. You're like, hey, normies wouldn't be able to watch the whole thing. So my intention was to, whether I liked it or hated it, watch the whole first season. Sadly, I could not do that because, as both of you know, and as I'm sure anyone who like follows me on Twitter knows, I was like suddenly called into work, and it like ruined all of my plans. But I did push through, and I did watch 12 episodes.
Freaking normie.
Yeah, totally normie. I watched 12 episodes in like a day and a half, maybe. Like while I was at work. Let's see. I very much liked the characterization, the Holy Trinity. I very much like the characterization. Like you mentioned, everyone gets their like spotlight moment. It doesn't feel like they're wasting any time on any specific character. It feels like it's necessary. And I guess that makes sense because they are a team. The team is the main character, if you want to think about it that way. So I do enjoy the development. It's cool to see specific characters' reasons for doing things that they do, like finding out why Asahi quit. You know, because like I said, I thought it was gonna be like he gave up on his dreams to find a job or something. Man, Hinata is just like a little ball of joy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He's fucking adorable. I will say that was like an immediate, like as soon as I started the first episode, I was like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. Like as instant, just because of him. But then more characters get introduced, and even the ones that I'm like, oh, I'm not really a fan of them, they're still good characters. It's just I don't like them, but I can appreciate them as characters. Because I've had characters that I just fucking hate in anime.
Right.
There's no single character so far that I'm just like, I don't like this character at all. I might not like their attitude, but I still think that they're a good character. They're very well written. And that's my next point. The writing is very well done. I think I memed it at you, like on your stream. I was like, you keep talking about how great Haikyuu is, but it's just being carried by its 10 out of 10 story, excellent animation, and great characterization. Without that, it has nothing. And you're like, did you just praise Haikyuu? And I'm like, no, I'm kidding. I haven't watched it yet. Meanwhile, like while typing that, I was on like episode 7 or something.
What else do I got? Yeah, they definitely have some like standard anime tropes.
Mm.
Like I think I told you Hinata and Kageyama are basically the same characters as the main characters from Black Clover. You got the short kid who everyone says you can't do that, and he's like, bitch, yes I can. And then the tall one who has innate abilities and thinks he's better than everyone else. They hate each other, but they turn out to be friends. It's the exact same thing. Yeah, like this. Yeah. Fluffy-haired redhead and the dark-haired one, it's the same thing. You got them in lots of shows.
Bro, top left and bottom left is literally the same picture.
It's the same thing. I honestly had a really hard time finding memes for this because 9 times out of 10 they were kind of like this. And I didn't want to fill your freaking podcast with just shipping everyone. Because this has the biggest, like, their entire fandom just ships everyone. Like, and even if you don't, you can kind of see how characters naturally pair off. Like Daichi and Suga, Kageyama and Hinata, Asahi and Nishinoya, they kind of have their pair. So that's I tried my hardest, but I had to throw in a couple. It's the same thing. It's the same freaking thing.
Yeah, it's literally the same picture.
It's the same picture. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. What if it was green? Yeah. So, did I have any more?
Before you show more, did you want to hear what my rating was?
You want to hear what?
What my rating was?
Yeah.
So, Jay, you gave it what, an 8?
Yes.
I will fight you if it's below like 10.
What? Huh?
Huh? You fight him, you gotta fight me too.
Yeah, I don't know you, so I'm not gonna fight you, but I know Lizer, I'll fight him.
Dude, that's not fair. She knows my stats. No, actually, I was gonna give it a 9.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you better.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I give it a 9. Maybe I don't think it's perfect, but I'm definitely not bored with it, and I will finish. I can guarantee that I will be finishing it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's funny. I thought it was gonna be like statistical volleyball. Like they were just every episode was me learning about volleyball, and I'm so glad it wasn't.
I will say I came out of watching all of the seasons, and I know all of the rules and all of the players, and like I know everything now.
I will say I came.
Yeah. Huh?
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about that, dude. What the fuck? Dude, when one of them says like, "Oh yeah, when the ball gets hit and it goes down, it's traveling at 60 miles an hour," I was like, "What the fuck?" He got hit in the face with that.
Yeah.
Isn't like 45 miles an hour like deadly to a human?
Anything traveling 45 miles an hour, it's just like.
Dude,
Yeah, I don't think you see it yet, but when they go against Alba Josai, it's the freaking animation that they put on these serves goes hard.
Yeah.
Like they just go insane. It's the same as when Hinata did his first jump. They put like all this crazy like effects on it.
I can appreciate like that because they do it right. It's not like certain shows that I watched where like a character turns around and just them turning around is a different animation.
Yeah, it's
Bro, literally worst character.
no okay. Like okay, Suki's not my favorite, but he has.
Me either.
He does get he gets his development in the second season, and he's a good character.
Yeah, I'll give him.
He's not my favorite, but he's my good. He's a good character. I like him. Did I have any others? Let me check. Oh yeah, just this last one. He's so freaking cute. Oh my god.
Motherfucker, he's on stilts. That's a good one.
I love it to death. Oh my god, that's all the memes that I had.
All right. So are you
yeah.
happy with how we took it? How we watched the show and what we thought of it?
Yes, I'm happy. I just want you to watch all of it so I can just fangirl on the rest of it.
She's just gonna fill my DMs with like Haikyuu smut.
I'm gonna? I already do.
Not smut.
Oh,
Just give me a minute.
No, don't. Fucking don't. I will block you. I will fucking block you. Oh man. So yeah, we enjoyed the show. Yeah, it was nice. I liked it. Does anybody have anything to say before Jay says what we'll be watching next week?
Look at my best boy. This is my best boy.
no,
Close.
Oh my god. He's the best.
All right, Jay. What are we watching?
Something that I've heard of and heard pretty funny things about, but also I barely remember this, given I haven't watched it. But
How does that work?
yeah, I know it's crazy. It's because I've seen clips, and I barely remember the clips.
Gate.
Yeah. This is the full name of it, and that's not it.
I'm getting like whiplash seeing these like fantasy characters. There's like an elf in blue jeans, and then like fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
And I don't question anything at all. But yeah, that's
Gate jitai kanochi ni te kaku tatakeri?
Tatekai.
The fuck does that mean?
Well, I know that last word means fight, so we're in for something. I can read the synopsis that I have.
Yeah, shoot me that, because I'm fucking confused right now.
Off-duty Japan Self-Defense Forces officer and otaku, Itami is on his way to attend a doujin convention in Ginza, Tokyo, when a mysterious portal in the shape of a large gate suddenly appears. From this gate, supernatural creatures and warriors clad in medieval armor emerge and charging through the city, killing and destroying everything in their path.
Huh.
With swift actions, Yoji saves can, while the rest of the JSDF direct their efforts towards stopping the invasion.
So
And that's
it's reverse isekai apocalypse.
honestly, I think so. I am a little excited because it has military tag to it, so I'm kind of excited anyways. I was a big fan of the military and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Only M tag I like is MILF. Oh, perfect time for a raid.
Nice.
Oh,
It
man.
can have perfect timing.
Yeah.
Cannot have
Oh
perfect timing
boy.
with
Hey. Whew, Lita, thank you for the raid. I wasn't saying anything bad. Thank you everyone for the follows. Whoa. I'm a good boy.
You can stop lying to the public. now.
Don't shut the fuck up, dude. Raymondo, thank you for the follow. Ghost Neko, thank you. Grail Talks, Pixel, thank you. Something about MILF booty. I did not mention booty. I'm the hydrate guy. Get hydrated. All right. Oh my fucking god, Pixel, thank you so much. Guys, you rated like as we were ending.
Yo, this happens every time.
Dude, I think like there we go, 100. I think like the last 3 ones has ended that way.
Yes. Specifically those 3, yes.
Oh, so you admit it was about Millstone? Bro, I have no shame.
I also have nothing.
Alright, fart redeem, cool. Thank you for the bits for that.
free biddies here.
Yeah. Now you have to go a little longer.
I don't think I will.
If it was gameplay, I would keep going. But since it's the podcast, I do have to end it. But I will redirect you guys somewhere, so don't worry about that. If you want to stick around, you will be redirected, and I do appreciate it nonetheless. But yeah, Song, thank you so much for joining us. You did a great job.
Yeah, you did wonderful.
Thank you.
You did better than like hosts that we actually had, like actual hosts, like
Stop.
they weren't guests.
Stop.
What? It's true.
I'm not disagreeing. This is like
I'm not trying to diss
not
those
slander,
hosts.
but-
I'm just saying she did better. All right.
Hey, I'm always around.
Yeah, I mean, you're like, I said the same thing last week to Libby, who was on. If you ever are watching and you see that like we're gonna be presenting something and you have some interest in it, feel free to join. You're in the server. You're here now.
For sure.
Hit me up like, hey, can I join this one? Sure, come on in. Dude, I'm not even against like if we're in the middle of the podcast and then I just like boom, here I am. Hey, I wanted to say something. Like, all right, go ahead.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed being on. I hope you enjoyed hosting and presenting and doing all that. Hope it wasn't too stressful.
No, I'm good now.
Yeah, now. Yeah, I had a good time not having to do all the work. So that's fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
it was a good feel.
Yeah, it's always nice. If only someone else would carry their weight.
I'm just a pretty face.
Dude, you're not even a face. You're a fucking Garchomp.
Like I said.
All right, you're right. All right. Thanks everyone. Gate is such a good anime. I'm just seeing that. Okay. Well, next week we're gonna watch it. So tune in. Are we watching 5?
Yes.
All right. So 5 episodes of minimum of Gate. So tune in next time. Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see
Bye-bye.
you next time. Bye bye. Song? Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, okay. That's all you guys get. Bye. Bye. It's not like I wanted you to watch us anyway, Baka. Anyway, bye.
Aw.